I think it would be a good thing for the township.
It's officially called the Malicious Communications Ordinance. A Don't Annoy Me ordinance might be another way to put it.
It's going to be hard to enforce, I would think.
The Plymouth Township Board of Trustees will consider the proposal in a first reading at tonight's meeting. The ordinance would make it unlawful to send or deliver written messages deemed malicious in nature or use a telecommunications device such as a cell phone to threaten, harass, or otherwise annoy people.
Will it cover nasty texts?
It might.
Because, you know, my grandchildren, they don't talk to each other. It's all texting.
Those in violation could face up to a $500 fine or 90 days in jail or both. Township Supervisor Shannon Price thinks it's a good idea for his community.
When I saw that our neighbors to the south, Canton Township, amended their ordinance to deal with bullying to coincide with our school district that we share, felt that it was important to bring this ordinance forward to join the Canton and the Plymouth Canton School District in standing up against bullying.
If the proposed ordinance moves forward, Supervisor Price says it could be in place by the end of the month, just in time for Anti-Bullying Month, which comes up in October. For the Now Detroit, I'm Dave Llewellyn in Plymouth Township.
All right, Dave, thank you so much. And joining us now to talk about Plymouth Township's proposed malicious communications ordinance is attorney Michael Steinberg with the American Civil Liberties Union. Michael, thank you for being with us. First of all, your initial reaction to this ordinance.
Well, throughout the years, the ACLU has unfortunately had to go to court to challenge ordinances like these. The problem with this ordinance is that it criminalizes speech that is either indecent or offensive if the person receiving it finds it annoying. And while we, of course, oppose bullying, this is an unconstitutional ordinance. I don't know if you remember the cussing canoeist case, but in that case, state statute made annoying, indecent, or vulgar language illegal. It made it a crime, and we went to the Michigan Court of Appeals and they struck it down because the court found that it was void for vagueness. What exactly is offensive or indecent or improper? And we have the same problem here.
Wow, the cussing canoeist. I don't remember that case, but you just reminded us of it. We'll have to check that out. Now, as soon as we heard about the ordinance, though, we started looking at some of the rules. In this case, number 4 says using obscene language, I guess like that cussing canoeist, or suggesting a lewd act during a telephone conversation or even an email could be a violation. Now, it seems to us this could be a violation of the First Amendment. I mean, is that sort of what you argued before?
Yes. In fact, we had a case, we called it the frustrated farmer case, and we challenged the exact provision that exists in state law that the Plymouth Township wants to incorporate. And in that case, an 80-year-old farmer complained over the phone on a complaint line to the Michigan Department of Agriculture because the nearby farm was spraying liquid manure on its fields and it stunk to high heavens. After being unsuccessful for months, he used SOB on the line, and a deputy sheriff came and arrested him. We challenged that and won, and we hope that Plymouth Township will reconsider some of the language here. Again, their intent in preventing bullying is very important, and we support that. It's just the way that they intend to do it.
What would be acceptable to you? What is an acceptable way to reach that end goal then, do you think?
Well, certainly you can prevent threats. You can deal with physical bullying, physical threats, assaults. There's lots of education the school can do to stop bullying, but you cannot make it a speech crime to use so-called indecent language over text message.
Now, you've mentioned several cases to us. What about other communities right now, just aside from Plymouth, trying to get this same ordinance passed? Do you know of any, or is Plymouth the only one?
No, I just learned of the Plymouth ordinance yesterday, and I hope they'll reconsider. There's portions of the ordinance that are absolutely fine, but parts of it overreaches and could lead to unconstitutional prosecutions.
You know, rule number 6, when we looked it up, says making an unsolicited phone call between 9 p.m. and 9 a.m. would be a violation. How would the township even enforce something like that?
Yeah, it's difficult, and you know, there are already state and federal laws dealing with these issues, and there may be problems with preemption as well.
All right, so your recommendation to them is don't go too far with this, because are you basically saying that if something like this did pass, that you'd see them in court?
Well, we'd see how it's enforced and if somebody came to us, like our frustrated farmer. But certainly in a free country, it's not a crime to use offensive or indecent language. And sometimes those terms are subject to interpretation, and it ends up that the police end up going against unpopular people.
All right, Michael Steinberg with the American Civil Liberties Union, thank you so much for your time today. We appreciate your expertise.
Thank you. And I'd like to also say that if it can be a crime to use annoying language, my kids would be calling the police all the time.
All of ours, right?
You wouldn't be alone on that. All right.
All right, thank you so much. Still